In June of 2017, a young Minnesota couple, Mona Lisa Perez and Pedro Ruiz, believed they had found the key to going viral. They were both in their early 20s. Their dream was always to go viral and become famous. But what began as a simple idea for content would end in one of the most haunting examples of how far people will go for views. That afternoon, the couple planned what they described as their most dangerous video ever. Pedro's idea was simple and deadly.
What's up, everybody? It's Damn It Boy. My channel is going to consist of a lot of crazy stuff. Entertainment just for you guys. So here, I bring to you Mona Lisa, my girlfriend.
Hi, everyone.
So, babe, let's go ahead and show them what we have in store for our first video. This right here is a 50 caliber Desert Eagle. The point of this video is I just want to see if a 50 caliber bullet can go through a book. So the ultimate test to see if this 50 caliber bullet will go through a book is I'm just not going to just set it and just shoot it. No, I'm going to stand behind it and Mona Lisa is going to shoot it, hoping she hits the book and not me. The most trustworthy person that I trust in this world is my girlfriend, Mona Lisa. So if I'm gonna die, I'll be ready for Jesus. He probably won't accept me into the pearly gates because how stupid this is, but I have confidence that my girlfriend will hit the book and not me. Let's do it.
As the camera rolled in front of their home in Hallstatt, Minnesota, Pedro stood proudly with the book against his chest, but Mona Lisa hesitated. She was pregnant with their second child, and their 3-year-old daughter watched from a distance. Pedro's start reassured her, telling her it would be fine, that he trusted the book and he trusted her. She later took a deep breath and pulled the trigger. The shot echoed through the quiet neighborhood, and Pedro collapsed. The bullet had passed clean through the book and into his chest. Panicking, Mona Lisa called 911, but it was already too late. The camera continued recording as first responders rushed to the scene, later confiscated by police, became evidence in one of the most shocking cases of online obsession ever recorded. Not long after, Mona Lisa was charged with second-degree manslaughter. During her trial, the court revealed how Pedro had convinced her to do it, how desperate they both were for viral. She later was sentenced to 180 days in jail. Served intermittently over 6 years, the channel was deleted. Their dream of getting viral is gone forever. In December 2020, a Russian streamer named Stas Reshetnikov, known online as Replay, conducted a live stream that would become one of the darkest moments ever caught on the internet. What viewers thought was normal live stream turned out to be something far worse. That night, Stas was at home in his small Moscow apartment with his girlfriend, Valentina Grigorieva, as he called her on stream. Replay was already known for extreme trash streaming, content where streamers push boundaries by humiliating, abusing, or endangering others for donations. Multiple reports suggest that Stas repeatedly assaulted Valentina, slapping her, pepper spraying her, even forcing her into dangerous stunts, and that these actions were normalized in his streams and watched by 1,000 viewers. That night the stream began like many others. In front of thousands, Stas and Valentina hadn't fight like they always do, Stas later calling her names, humiliating her in front of the stream for views. Then the chat start urged him to step it up, and he did. Later on, Stas began forcing Valentina to go outside into the freezing cold. He was dragging her, make her exposed to sub-zero temperatures, leaving her alone freezing for hours. And when Stas finally opened the door and dragged Valentina back inside, she wasn't moving at all. Her skin was pale, her lips were blue. He then tried to wake her up, muttering that she was fine, but it was clear something terrible had happened. And through it all, The stream was still live. Thousands of viewers watched him place her on the couch, cover her with a blanket, and continue talking as if nothing had happened. His voice trembled, sobbed, pleaded, insisted she was still breathing. It wasn't until someone from the chat told him to call the police, and that moment, he finally realized what he has just done. By the time authorities arrived, it was too late. Valentina was pronounced dead at the scene, reportedly from hypothermia and closed head injury from blunt trauma, suggesting she had been beaten beforehand. And the stream never stopped. When the footage spread, people couldn't believe it was real. Stas later was arrested and sentenced to 6 years in prison for negligent homicide, a punishment many argued was far too light for what happened. It's a horrifying reminder when content creators mix abuse with entertainment, and sometimes it ends in death. On November 24th, 2021, a video quietly appeared on YouTube titled, "I Crashed My Airplane." At first glance, it looked like a tragedy. It's mid-flight, solo pilot, and suddenly facing mechanical failure. The video opens with a man in a small aircraft soaring over the rugged terrain of California's Los Padres National Forest. Moments later, he leaps from the plane, parachuting through the clouds as the aircraft spirals out of sight. It looks horrifyingly real. Too real. That man was Trevor Jacob, a 29-year-old former Olympic snowboarder that turned into a YouTuber and becoming a pilot. For years, Jacob had been chasing adrenaline online, posting content that make viewers shocked by the stunt he do. But this time, something about the video felt off. He didn't try to restart the engine. He didn't contact air control. He didn't even attempt an emergency landing. And when investigators noticed the multiple cameras neatly mounted around the plane, it became clear that this wasn't an accident. It was acting. Experts dissected the footage frame by frame, and realizing that the aircraft's propeller was still turning before Jacob jumped. What started as a shocking viral video began to look like something darker, a staged crash for views. And for weeks, Jacob remained silent, basking in the attention as his video climbed past millions of views. But soon after, reality caught up. Investigators discovered that Jacob and a friend had flown a helicopter to the crash site, dismantled the plane piece by piece, scattering its remains to make sure no one could prove what he'd done. He lied to federal investigators, claiming he didn't know where it had crashed, but the digital trail, from GPS data to video timestamps, told a very different story. By 2023, Jacob's stunt had unraveled completely. He was charged with obstructing a federal investigation, admitting that the entire crash was planned to secure a sponsorship deal. The supposed engine failure was fabricated, the video carefully edited to sell a lie. The U.S. Department of Justice described how Jacob not only crashing the plane intentionally, but also covering it up afterward. It wasn't just reckless, it was criminal. He was later sentenced to 6 months in federal prison, and his pilot license was revoked indefinitely. Jacob's video had blurred the line between adrenaline and arrogance. He'd risked not only his own life, but the lives of others below, all for a few million clicks.